This is Amud Yomi, Gemara Shabbos, Daf Yud Amud Beis, and we're holding on Yud Amud Beis, the top line, as we quote that Ein Sham Sheila Shalom, that in the inner house, in the inner room of the bathhouse, the room in which people are undressed, one is not allowed to say Shalom, Shalom being the name of Hashem, to another. Says the Gemara, Mesayele, Rav Amnuna Mishmei De'ula, the Amr Sarayat, Rav Amnuna Mishmei De'ula, that says, also, what's the reason? As we just explained, V'yikra lo Hashem Shalom. He called him Hashem Shalom, Shalom being the name of Hashem. Ask the Gemara if this is true. Hey Manusa Nami Asalami Marvizakisi. One should not be allowed to say Hey Manusa. Why? To say we know the pasuk says Akel and Ammon. Excuse me. That Hanemon is also a descriptive name of Hashem. You're going to tell me that it is true. It is also say Manusa. Say you are allowed to say Hey Manusa. Says the Gemara Hasam. You know why? To say Hey Manusa, Shem Gufa Lo Yikrachi. It's not the actual name of Hashem, but rather the B'targeminon Eloika Mehemna. Because we translate that when the pasuk says the mehemna, faithful, is an adjective describing Elokah, whereas Hashem Gufa Ikri Hashem Shalom. So one is an adjective. So an adjective to a descriptive term to Hashem's name, of course, is at a very high level. However, is it the name itself? Says the Gemara. No, therefore that's why you're allowed to say it. Once we have a din of Rav Bar Merchasi Amar Rav, we continue with other such dinim, 10 lines down, the two dots. Amar Rav Bar Merchasi Amar Rav Chama Bar Guri Amar Rav, excuse me. Hanois matana lechaveiro, you give your friend a gift. Tzarech lo'idio, you got to tell him about it. Shnemer l'daski ani Hashem mekadeshchem. To know that I am Hashem, that made you holy. This is where Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu to keep Shabbos. And then it says that what's the reason? I want to be Mekadesh them. And Hashem is making a point over here to telling the Klal Yisrael that they're getting this matana of Shabbos. When you give someone a matana, you got to tell them about it. Tana mihachi, I'll bring you a raya. Ladaski ni Hashem mikadeshchem, says the pasuk. Know that I'm Hashem who makes you holy. Amar leikadosh baruch hu Moshe. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu matana tevi yeshi beiskinazai. A wonderful gift I have in my storehouse is v'Shabbos shema. V'ani mevakish l'tali Yisrael. And I want to give it to Klal Yisrael. Lech v'oidiyam, go and tell Klal Yisrael. Mikadam Rav Shimon Gamliel says Rashbag. I know you say in Pas Latina, you give bread to a child. Tzarich l'dia l'imay. You got to tell the mother that you're giving him a gift. My avilei. What does the child do so that the parents know that he got such a gift? Amar Abaya, Shayif lei mishchei. Now, what does the child do? How do you ensure that the parent knows? You put a little oil between his eyes. Umalei kuchlei, put a little paint around his eyes. Different actions so the parents realize that the child receives something. Says the Gemara, nowadays we're a chayshin for chshafim, and therefore we don't do these practices. That if we see someone with oil or paint around his eyes, we'd be nervous that there was some form of kishuv done. So what should you do now? Take a little bit of the food, put it on the kids' cheeks. You know, sometimes you don't have a problem. Some kids make the mess on their own, but says the Gemara, that's what you do so that the parents know a gift was given to the child. Asks the Gemara, Amy, is this true? We're smack in the middle of the Amud of Yud Amud Beis. First words of the line, Amen. Is this true? He argues. You don't have to tell him. Moshe did not to know that his face was shining, seemingly indicating that you do not have to tell someone that he got a great gift. Says the Gemara, if it's something that's eventually going to be revealed, like the shining face of Moshe Rabbeinu, then you don't have to tell him. But it's something that one is not going to necessarily know about, then you should tell them. Says the Gemara, 1 second. What was the original source? Shabbos. For Shabbos, Shabbos is going to become revealed. Says the Gemara, the reward for Shabbos is not going to become revealed. Continues the Gemara, I'll tell you a story of Chista Rav Chista held in his hands 2 sets of gifts from the Kohanim. Amar, He said, "Kol man da'asi v'amar li shemaitza charta mishmei derav." Anyone who tells me a new din, a new chiddush from Rav, even though in the Alei, I'll give him this matnas kahuna. Amar le Rav bar Mechasya, hachi amar Rav, and he's matan lechaver zar ledi Hashem lo datzkin Hashem v'kadosh chem yavin Alei. So Rav Chisda gave him one part of the animal. Amar Rav Mechasya said, and asked Rav Chisda, "Chavim alecha shemaitza derav kuli hai." Do you love the teachings of Rav so much? Are you giving away gifts for them? Amar le'in, yes. Amar le Rav Mechasya asked further, Hainu damar Rav. This is what Rav says. A garment of fine wool is precious to one who wears it. Rav says that. That's even greater than the first one. And if I had more parts of the animal to give, I would give it to you. And Rashi over here explains that what this means is that one who's used to such a garment, he gets more benefit, more hana from it. So you are a Talmud of Rav, so you're accustomed to his garments, to his teachings, and therefore you get more hana from his teachings. Continues the Gemara. We're about 10 lines from the very wide lines. The Olam says, the Gemara, one should never treat one son differently than the rest. Shebishvil mishkal shnei slayim milas. From the weight of 2 slayim of fine wool, shalasin Yaakov the Yosef. The Yaakov Avinu gave to Yosef Mishar Banim over the other children. Nitkanu Bayachav, the brothers became jealous, and Iskalu Adavar v'Yardu Avasim Mitzrayim. And what happened? Eventually, Kalos Mitzrayim, Klal Yisrael had to go down to Mitzrayim. Person should always try to look to live in a place, in a city that was recently inhabited. Because it was recently settled. There are not that many Aveiros. If it has been around for so long, they couldn't have committed that many crimes. So it's good to live there. Shenamar, Hinino here, Light is talking to the Malachim and he says, please, look, this city, is close enough to escape to and it's small. My Kraiva. What does Light mean that the city is close? If you tell me that close means that it was physically close and small means it's a small city, why would Light tell that to the Malachim? They can see that for themselves. Lay was telling the Malachim, no, the city was settled recently. Avoinais, their avoinais are not that large. Sayer was more recently inhabited than Siddim. That's why Lloyd said it should not be destroyed with Siddim. Amar Rav Avin, my crow, but it says in the pasuk, Shama says, I will flee, I will run there now. Nun Aleph, no, is Bigamatcha Chamshin V'chad Havoin. It's 51. So Torah is teaching us that Sayer is 51 years old. Vishal Stayim was Chamishu Shtayim. So Stayim was a full year earlier before Sayer, and that's why Lloyd said that Sayer shouldn't be destroyed with Siddim. Vishal Vasa continues Rav Avin and its peace. The period, the time when Siddim was Bishalim was Esrim Vishesh. On the top of Yud Alph and Alph was 26 years. 12 years they served K'tayla. They rebuilt the 13 years and the 14th year, etc. And therefore, that was Light's Taina. That was Light's Taina that Sayer should not be destroyed together with Siddim, proving the Gemara that a city that's more recently inhabited clearly has less Aveira just due to the time period, and that's a better place to live. We'll pick it up from here on the top of Yud Alph Amud Aleph, B'siyata Dishmaya.